guys, welcome back. So today I want to talk to you a little bit about some of my most anticipated releases for the early part of 2018. And most of these are books that are releasing in the first 2 or 3 months of the year. These are things I have advance copies for, things that I have pre-ordered, stuff that I'm really excited to see come out. And this I think this is almost entirely young adult. So without further ado, let's get into it. The first book that I want to tell you about is one that I mentioned in a wrap-up. This is the only book of these that I have already read, but it is one that I definitely recommend picking up. This releases on January 18th, and that is Reign of the Fallen by Sara Marsh. This book is fantastic. I really enjoyed it. If you've heard of it, it's probably because a lot of the buzz about this book is the fact that the protagonist is a bisexual character and the fantasy world it's set in is one in where your sexual orientation just kind of doesn't matter. You can be whatever. That's where a lot of the buzz is coming from, but the things that I really like about this book are the storytelling and the world building. It's got fantastic world building. The main character is Odessa, who is a necromancer, and in her kingdom, the dead literally rule. The king and other wealthy nobles have been brought back from the dead by necromancers. They walk around in these shrouds. They continue to rule the country and things are never supposed to change. But the reason that they're shrouded from head to toe is that if any of their flesh is revealed to a living person, they turn into wraiths that they can never change back from, and they will just try to eat people and other spirits. Anyway, so interesting things start to happen, people start to die, there's intrigue. It's a really, really great fantasy story. The world building is super interesting, it's really vivid. I've said in another video, and I'll say it again, I think this would make a fantastic video game. BioWare should totally go out and turn this into an RPG. It would be super cool. So, this comes out on the 18th of next month. Definitely go pick this one up. The next book is one that I'm planning to read this month and I'm definitely excited about the more I hear about it, and that is Everless by Holland. This is another YA fantasy novel, and it's set in a world where time is currency and there's some like class warfare sort of things going on, I think. But the protagonist is a girl who has escaped from this estate called Everless with her father, but now her father's life is at stake, and the only way to save him is to go back. So I'm really excited to pick this up. I've been hearing really good things about it, and I'm looking forward to reading it. This one also releases on January 18th. Next up is another January 18th release, and you guys, I'm so excited for this one. Everything I've heard has been like rave reviews. I cannot wait to pick this up, and I will be very soon. It is The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. This is the first installment in a new series. She is the queen of writing about fairies. She writes these lush, amazing fantasy novels, and everybody has been raving about this book. I know it has some kind of a cliffhanger ending. I'm super excited about it. Probably by the time you're seeing this video, I will have already picked it up. I am pre-filming some stuff because we're traveling for the holidays and I won't have as much access to my filming equipment, so I'm doing this now, but this is another highly anticipated release. Releases on the 18th. The next book I want to talk to you about that releases in January is Zenith. This is book 1 in the Andromeda saga. This is a young adult science fiction novel. It will release on January 16th, and it is written by Lindsay Cummings and Sasha Allsberg. You may know of Sasha from her BookTube channel. So this I'm really excited about. I'm actually pretty sure I'm going to be getting this in a subscription box, so keep an eye out for that in January. Like I said, it's science fiction, and I think it's about space pirates with an all-girl crew, so that sounds amazing. There's been a lot of hype about this book. I'm hoping it actually lives up to it, but I'm really excited to give it a try. And the last book that I want to talk about releasing in January actually releases January 2nd. You guys know this has to be on my list. It's one of my favorite authors, but Marie Lu is writing a Batman novel. I am super excited about this. This is one I've I've actually pre-ordered, and you guys, I actually splurged and pre-ordered the UK special edition. I will put a picture right here because it's beautiful and I am super excited to be getting it. I will show you the difference between the special edition UK cover and the normal US cover, and I am so jazzed to be getting it, even though it costs a little bit extra. Yeah, it's really pretty. So as you guys know, I love Marie Lu. I raved about Warcross. I like everything that I've read by her, so I'm really looking forward to the Batman book. All right, next let's talk about February releases, because you guys, there are some really good ones releasing in February. The first one is one that, oh my gosh, everything I've seen about it, I'm like so excited to get my hands on it. It's The Bells by Dhonielle Clayton. I have been seeing so much buzz about this book. It sounds amazing. It's another sort of YA dystopian fantasy novel, but it's set in Louisiana. This looks incredible, super diverse, super interesting story. People have been raving about it. I'm really looking forward to checking it out. You guys, there's so many books that I'm excited about coming out that I like really want to get a hold of. I would be so excited if get an arc of The Bells. That would be so amazing. I would be thrilled. So next up is the next installment in the Truthwitch series by Susan Dennard, Sightwitch. I'll put a picture right here. The cover is gorgeous, you guys. Gorgeous. I'm finally reading Windwitch. I'm about halfway through it. I'm loving it. I loved Truthwitch. This one is a shorter story. It's kind of a novella that goes in between Windwitch and Bloodwitch, which is going to be releasing, I think, late next year, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm really excited about that one. That is another one that I have actually pre-ordered. So go check it out. If you guys like high fantasy, Susan Dennard is amazing and her world building is so good. She's the best. Next up, Ashley Poston is releasing a new book and it's called Heart of Iron. I don't know a whole lot about it. I loved Geekerella, and this one I think is more of a YA sci-fi fantasy novel. Let me see. This one is a young adult science fiction novel, so I'm really excited to check it out. Like I said, Geekerella was one of my favorite books last year. Didn't make my top 5, but it was a pretty close contender. Another book coming out in February is Tempests and Slaughter by Tamora Pierce. This is a new installment in the world of Tortall. If you guys have been watching a lot of my videos for a while, you might know that I grew up reading the Song of the Lioness Quartet, and I loved it. It was one of my early introductions to feminism and to fantasy, and I was a huge fan, so I'm really excited to check out this new series in that world. I'm hoping it's really fun. And the final book I want to talk about that's releasing in February is one I have an arc for that I haven't read yet, but it's called Honor Among Thieves by Rachel Caine and Aguirre, and this one sounds super interesting. It is a science fiction novel about a young criminal who's recruited to join an honors space program. It just sounds really interesting and really fun, so I'm definitely looking forward to picking that one up. I could go on because there are other things coming out in March, April, May that I'm really excited about, but I think I'm just going to make those into different videos later on because I feel like I already have a lot of content in this. So the last book I'm going to talk to you guys about today is one that's releasing April 3rd. This is also the only book on this list that's not a young adult book. It's a romance novel, but I just think it's going to be super fun to read. It's called My Lady's Choosing by Kitty Curran and Larisa Zagaris, and this is a choose-your-own-adventure romance novel, you guys, which I just think is hilarious and brilliant. I'm really excited to have an arc. This is one of those books that I've been really wanting to pick up. I just need one of those days where I want something light and fun to dig into, where I will definitely be checking this out. I think the cover is so pretty, and I think the idea is so clever. This is also published by Quirk Books. They're the people who published Geekerella and you know, some other kind of more offbeat books. I think it's going to be a really fun one, but this one comes out in April. Alright, so those are all the books I'm going to talk to you guys about today. It's primarily January and February releases, the ones that I'm really excited to check out. I mean, you see, young adult sci-fi fantasy is my thing, so that's a lot of what I'm talking about here. I will do another video later on talking to you guys about things coming out March, April, May. But for now, those are the new releases I'm most excited to pick up starting in January and February. In the comments down below, let me know what books you guys are most excited to see released, what you're looking forward to picking up. There's a lot of good stuff coming out, you guys. Like, I don't know how I'm gonna get to all of it. There's so many things that I want to read and so many things I already have. So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a really fun few months. There's a lot of cool stuff coming out next year. Let me know what you guys are interested in and what you're excited to see come out. I would love to have a conversation, and maybe there are some things that I'm not aware of that I should be made aware of. If you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to see more. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.